what changes would I bring to this area? First and foremost, I believe that in order to change the environment or change the atmosphere, you have to nurture the seeds, right? And in the community, the seeds would be the children. You have to nurture the children in this community because they are going to be the ones who are going to take over when we are old. So we have to be able to invest in these children so they can be able to take it over, but not just take it over and do anything with the community, but take it over and be able to care for it and advance the community. Growing up in this area, I've seen a lot of changes. The changes that I've seen was encouraging kids to be more creative, encouraging youth to delve into their interests and just kind of take what they've learned from the adults in their lives, but then also be able to add their spin on it. I think encouraging kids to kind of add their own creativity makes things fresh and makes things new and makes sure that progression is always innovative. You don't want the kids to just, take what they did back then, but be able to spin it to make sure that it's always relevant. And in this area, I've definitely seen that a lot, and I've been able to see things stay relevant as they also move forward. So ways that I have brought awareness to police brutality is one, by speaking at community forums and just kind of speaking, on behalf of the community, but then also to the figureheads of the community and letting them know what we see, and just telling them, hey, this is what you believe or perceive to be going on, or what you want to be going on, but as a community member, I'm telling you what's going on. Being an activist in the community it's very difficult, and what you the predicament that you find yourself in is that you are a public figure and you are under scrutiny of the public eye 24/7. You know what I mean? And while you're putting on your cape and you're being this quote unquote hero for the community, it's also difficult for people to see you in a vulnerable state, or for people to see you in a human state, or when you're not talking politics, or you're not talking activism, and you're just being normal human you. People kind of see that as a weakness or tend to judge you on the human side of you, and that's probably the most difficult part about being a public figure in so many different types of neighborhoods in these areas. You have your neighborhoods that are just completely, desolate, food deserts that don't have any resources for kids and for people. So they're just kind of surviving how they know how. It may not be conducive, but they're using what they have to survive. There are also some communities that have resources, but don't necessarily have the figures or the people in the positions to accurately run or ethically run these programs in order to have these communities thrive. So you kind of have these communities that are in deficit, but they're in different kinds of deficits. So you would have what you would call maybe an inner city or a slum neighborhood that doesn't necessarily have any resources, so people are surviving. However, you have communities that are deemed a little more affluent and they have these resources, but the people in charge aren't necessarily investing in these resources or running these resources as they should. So it on the outside it looks like everything is there, but on the inside it's depleted as well. If I can change two things in my community, it would be people's apathy. I would erase everybody's apathy, right? Because everybody has to care about their community. This is where you live. This is where you sleep. This is where you spend your time. This is where you're raising your family. And you should care about it. You shouldn't be apathetic towards it. You know, regardless of how you feel, you should feel something. And when you feel something, you'll be drawn to do something. You'll be drawn to make change. So that's what I would change about my community. So, do I see myself taking my career farther into politics? I would say no. I'm not a politician. I'm not in the game of winning votes. I'm not in the game of, talking up a good talk, and I just want change. I just want positive change. I just want to empower my community. I want my community to know that the politicians work for them. I want them to know that they have the power to make the change in their community, that they don't have to rely on a politician. I don't want people to even rely on me as an activist. I want people to get the information and to say, you know what? I can do something about it. Let's rally together and let's do something. My advice and encouragement to the youth coming up is to be yourself. Don't be afraid to take old norms and flip it. And what I mean by that is, like I was saying earlier, don't be afraid to be innovative. Some of those ideas that seem, so far-fetched are what can project your community or even yourself, towards your future. You never know what you can change or how you can reach a different demographic of people by just being innovative. Don't be scared to color outside the lines, to move outside of the box. Don't be afraid to try new things. You never know what's going to stick. Thomas Edison had 1,000 versions of the light bulb until he created the one that, became, a household item, right? Keep trying, keep changing, keep evolving, keep being innovative in order to propel yourself, into a bright future.